Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Gamefound. Not Board Game Co. today, from Gamefound. For those who missed the announcement, I'll link it down below, but I did a video talking about the general announcement of the fact that Gamefound has hired me recently as their Chief Marketing Officer, and to that end, I do have other things to talk about that aren't just Board Game Co. related, although, just full transparency and all that stuff, whenever this happens on the channel, whenever there's a Gamefound feature announcement or things going on behind the scenes at Gamefound or anything like that, if it's more Gamefound focused, the title and thumbnail will reflect that very clearly, so you can make a decision as to whether or not you want to watch that. Additionally, I do recommend subscribing. I'll link to that down below as well. Gamefound does have their own YouTube channel. You can subscribe to that as well. As time goes on, these types of videos will shift and migrate to there. But for right now, we're going to talk about different things that may or may not interest you. If you are a backer of, well, crowdfunding projects, then there are probably more things in here that do interest you, and let's talk about them, starting off with the most recent announcement, which is Gamefound's stable pledge. I'll have a link to the announcement down below as well. You can read it over on Gamefound's blog as well. But Gamefound recently introduced a stable pledge. The concept of a stable pledge, which more specifically the general idea of it, with the name stable and all that, is, as I've talked about many times in the channel in the past, crowdfunding is going through more and more of a degree of uncertainty. A degree of uncertainty around the very nature of crowdfunding, as creators try to make decisions based on the fluctuating economy of just how things are playing out and whatever current turbulence there is. Even as we look at prices settling in some areas, we also see prices growing in other areas, and more importantly, and the most problematic aspect, is creators are constantly trying to make choices not just based on what's happening at this moment in time, but with the fear and uncertainty of what will happen in the future. And that fear and uncertainty has led to many projects in the past having adjustments to their costs, adjustments to the estimates, and just unexpected increases in costs to backers in a way that increases the uncertainty around crowdfunding as a whole. The uncertainty and therefore the increase of the dollar pledge, or the increase in lack of backing and lack of funding in general. This is something we've talked about already. I've talked about in plenty of videos well before working for Gamefound, but the general concept of the instability in the crowdfunding space more and more is happening. And to that end, Gamefound's introducing the stable pledge. The idea of the stable pledge, and it's an opt-in program. It's an opt-in program for creators running their projects on Gamefound. But the idea of it is that the creator effectively can opt into a decision where they commit to their backers that if prices change more than 10% on the project, prices of the shipping, prices of the VAT or taxes, any of the peripheral costs and estimates that go on, if there is an increase in costs greater than 10% at any point in time after the project closes, then the backers have the opportunity to request a refund from that creator. A full 100% refund. The full details will be in the blog post, you can check that out, but backers will have 2 weeks to request a refund. They have to request the refund if they want it before when the costs adjust, but they have the opportunity to say, hey, I didn't sign up for this, you committed to a certain price, you opted into the stable pledge, and to that end, you're going to give me a refund. Now this is this is between the creator and the backer, but Gamefound will also be doing its part by refunding to that creator their percentage of the fee, or our percentage of the fee. Whatever fee Gamefound is taking from the creator running the crowdfunding project, when the creator refunds it to the backer, will also refund to that creator, so there's a full 100% refund on the table from the creator to the backer. It's a commitment that we're enabling the creator to make to the backer to ensure that you walk in, that the creator can sit there and try to make the adjustments they need, that the creator can know that whatever happens in terms of shipping or adjustments or this, that they can give you the price they think is accurate, knowing they may have to change it, but also knowing that they've committed to you the opportunity for a refund should that opportunity arise, or should that situation arise. The idea, as the name implies, is to stabilize the crowdfunding to a degree, to stabilize the idea of the fact that you can walk in knowing that, walk in with certainty, walk in not having to make a dollar pledge or not having to skip on the campaign entirely, walk in understanding that there is more security and safety to your pledge. It's an opt-in program, and we'll see how it goes. We're going to see it implemented on a few pledges starting off the bat over the next few months, and hopefully it increases your stability, or your certainty in the crowdfunding in general, and hopefully gives creators more tools to be able to reassure you along the way. Speaking of more tools for creators and stuff like this, we're also, over the next several weeks, going to be giving creators the opportunity to open their campaigns for late pledges without charging for shipping right away. The idea that they can go ahead and sit there and start opening the door, they can turn on the late pledges, they can turn on the pledge manager without having to immediately charge for shipping. Again, potentially giving more opportunities or more windows to charge for shipping when it's more relevant to the project, as opposed to, well, before they necessarily know or anything like that. Again, it's just another tool to be able to, I know something we've seen backers ask for a lot, the general idea that creators should more and more be charging for shipping later, and this will give them the opportunity to do so, well, more opportunities to do so within the Gamefound ecosystem. There are other features as well, though. Other features we'll be going over, and a bunch of these are going to be relevant to you. A bunch of these are going to be relevant to, well, I shouldn't say you. I say a bunch of these are going to be relevant to backers. A bunch of these are going to be relevant to creators. So we'll go over each of them as usual in all my content. This still stays the same, Gamefound or Board Game Co. Everything will be timestamped. But starting off the bat with Google and Facebook login. For the sign-in page or the sign-up page for Gamefound, we've introduced Google and Facebook login, making it easier than ever to sign up and to, without having to worry about all the passwords or sign-ups or this or that. Just click that one little button that I know I've gotten used to clicking elsewhere. Hopefully this is not relevant to most of you because most of you already have a Gamefound account through all the numerous pledges you've backed, but in case you want that, that will be more of a feature available to, again, increase general just accessibility and ease of use of the platform. Additionally, we're going to be introducing campaign launch notifications for followed creators. What this means is the idea that if you followed a project in the past, to better match projects from creators to backers and to both help backers get, to both help backers find the projects they might otherwise miss, as well as to help the creators get more followers on their projects. It is always our goal to better match projects to you, whether that's the top banner ads, the side recommended ads, whatever it is that we try to some way match. Our goal is to give you the tools to find the campaigns you want, to unfollow when they're not relevant for you, but to in some way give you access to the things you're looking for and help creators find more followers for their projects. To that end, we're going to be having campaign launch notifications where if you followed a creator in the past, then you'll get an email, or a single email, not a whole bunch of spam or all that, a singular email when they launch their next project. If you followed the, I don't know, whatever, pick your campaign of choice, if you follow that campaign, then the next time that creator launches a project, you'll get an email that says, hey, we launched a new project, this might be something you're interested in. You can go ahead and say, nope, no longer interested in projects from that creator, so you can definitely turn that off as well. It's opt out in terms of whatever you need, but hopefully it helps you and creators, well, backers and creators, as far as matching them up together. There's also going to be payment reports. This is more relevant to creators, but there's going to be more payment report functionality for those running their campaigns on Gamefound. The opportunity to generate a file with payment details of pledges made in your project with a whole lot more detail, a whole lot more information. Again, this is more of a creator feature, more relevant to them, not so much just for the backers, but it gives you better reporting on your payments, better reporting for your projects. We've also added the possibility, and again, another creator feature over here, we've added the possibility of defining tax values for each sublocation, giving you more accuracy in your tax collecting, your tax reporting, just more accuracy while we try to manage all the things tax related, which are all so much fun to deal with, but unfortunately incredibly essential and necessary to get accurate. So for example, the most common example would be defining states in terms of, if not just within the US, but defining each single state or region that you have from there. That'll be true across a variety of places, but we now have that defined tax value for sublocations instead of generic full locations as a whole. We're also going to be we're also going to be showcasing on the main page the number of followers on a project. Rather than having to click through a project to see how many followers are on it, as you scroll through the main page, you'll see on that main page the number of followers on a project, so you can at a glance see what's popular or not popular, or how things are doing. Not that it should really be that relevant. You should ultimately click on the things that interest you, but if you want that information, if you want to see how something's doing, if you want at a glance, or if you just want to see where other people have chosen to showcase their attention, the number of followers on a project will be relevant, will be seen, visible on the main page of Gamefound as you scroll through it. Additionally, and again, another creator aspect, there can be revamped statistics in the project dashboard. So in the project dashboard in the back end, we've completely revamped the statistics the way they show to make it more easy in the eyes, more accessible, more visual as you go through that, hopefully making it the stats in the back end, the reporting in the back end, more functional for creators. That's basically what we have for today. There's a whole bunch of things coming up. There'll be more features coming out, some relevant to creators, some relevant to backers. The goal always being the case to many ways, to always, to constantly increase what Gamefound is doing, how Gamefound is doing it, how it can be a better tool for backers and creators alike, constantly adding to the features that they want, whether they've asked for or whether the things we come up with on our end in order to hopefully make your lives easier, to make the tool more robust, to make the platform and the ecosystem the best one that it can possibly be. We're ramping up our features and development constantly. There will be more features rolled out every single week on an ongoing basis. There'll be blog posts about it. There'll be updates. Some will be over here. Some will be over on Gamefound's YouTube channel, but there will be frequent updates as far as what and how Gamefound is constantly evolving within the crowdfunding space to become the best crowdfunding platform it can be. And that's what we have. That's what we have for right now. Until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Gamefound for today. It sounds weird when I say it, but for these videos, it's true. For some of these videos, it will be true. Again, we'll make it as clearly evident. The channel is not going to be a full a conversation around Gamefound all the time. There will be occasional videos that I think are relevant. My big requirement for anything to be on this channel is that it has to, in some way, I think, be adding value to you as a Board Game Co subscriber, not just as a conversational piece. But we'll figure it out and we'll navigate that together. In any case, and as always, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co for the ending here. And as always, I hope you have a good one.